And before this video is not about if manifestation works or not. This video is about why do we reach that point where we get really tired with the entire process, right? So, like talk about every channel on the internet, Neville Goddard, Rita Kaminsky, all the long form content people who, talk about manifestation in details. I even have Neville Goddard collections that I've read. I've read Joseph Murphy. I've read Neville Goddard. I've found the craziest and hidden podcasts, on the internet talking about manifestation. And to be honest, people like Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy, they have really somewhere shaped me, okay? And I really got a lot of things, especially in my 20s, because, I followed people like Neville Goddard. I followed people like Joseph Murphy. I, really followed the science behind subconscious mind. And I'm not saying all of it does not work because it works. Okay. So then, if it works, you might be thinking, hey, then why are you recording this video? What's the point? The point is that, some of us, this is something I experienced last year. Me, my friend, and, friends around me. What we experienced was that, sometimes in your life, something so drastic happens, right? Maybe you lose your dream job. Maybe you lose a relationship. Maybe someone betrays you. Maybe someone dies in your family. Maybe something so inexplainable happens that you don't know how to wrap your head around it. And when something like that happens, it's just so difficult to put yourself together and think, okay, you know what? Today I'm going to manifest ABCD in my life. Today I'm going to manifest peace. Today I'm going to manifest love. Today I'm going to manifest material wealth. Today I'm going to manifest a perfect partner. So, when you are going through the absolute worst in your life, it's just difficult to be in that position and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to manifest this. And I know a lot of people who like use these situations and, and somehow they are able to picture something for themselves. But most people are not able to picture something for themselves. So, I want to just really separate separate, I want to put a boundary. Before last year, I I feel like I always knew what I wanted. I had goals and, I had charts in my head. Let's say I want to live at a beach, I want to do business from there. And, I was able to do that. And similarly, I want to go and travel, go for a business conference. I want to purchase the latest iPhone. So it's not that those things have not happened, but when something drastic in your life happens, you are like, hey, you know what? I just don't know that what do I desire anymore? What do I need anymore? Because you don't know. I have a very good friend and she went through something like so painful last year. And, initially I sent her a lot of manifestation videos, self concept videos, and she watched them. And she said, at the end of the day, when I closed my eyes, it's like I was scared to even imagine something for myself because she had gone through something so traumatic that when she would close her eyes, she couldn't even imagine something good for herself. Does that make sense? So, I guess what I'm trying to say is that when something absolutely shattering happens in your life, you are in so much pain and you have that wound inside you, it's just hard to imagine. Not even imagine, it's hard to even know what you want for yourself. And if you absolutely know what you want for yourself, maybe then it's easier. But at that point, it's just hard to imagine. So, what would you manifest for yourself? And I was in a similar situation last year where, all my identity, the identity I carried in my 20s, it had completely gone down to the drain. That I didn't know who I was anymore. Okay. And it was crazy. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. And I didn't have a vision board. I had nothing. All I was trying to do was survive, be on my own feet, have my already existing business running, not let it sink. So when you're at that point, like, how would you manifest? What would you manifest? Right? And I know some people would say, manifest healing for yourself, manifest peace for yourself. But, when you're feeling all of that, when you are feeling everything crumbling around you, you just cannot. So here's what I did instead. You know, so last year I kept reading Neville Goddard. I kept reading Neville Goddard, and honestly, it was good. Like reading it, it was good. It was just like, taking me out of my body for a bit. But then after that, it was helping me deal with small things around me on an everyday basis. But then I just didn't like, I was still in that whirlpool. So, what really helped me, that's something I want to share at the end of the day. I feel, at the end of the day, manifestation really comes down to belief, right? The belief you have about yourself, about your life at a certain point is what will show in your 3D reality. If we break it down to that, that's what manifestation is. And if you're able to fine tune into any kind of belief, that is what shows around you, right? So I was like, how? I mean, I didn't even think about it. How do I tune into any belief? Because my body was just not responding to anything. So what did I do? I was like, what is the only thing I believe in? And the only thing I believe in is that if I'm in so much pain, and it's only God who can understand me. Because sometimes when you're going through so much, no matter if you have friends and if you have family and if they are around you, they just want to see you, like they want to see you in a state where you are okay. They don't want to see you in a state where you are not okay. But in that process, somewhere you maybe kind of feel like they don't really get you. They don't really get what you're processing. And that's the point where I was like, only God is the one who knows what I'm going through. And I guess, I'm a Muslim. I opened a prayer mat one day and I just broke down. And this, it doesn't matter what religion you are from or what you follow, but the point I'm trying to make is being on that prayer mat and breaking down and actually feeling that God sees me, um, that softened me, that softened me. And going to that prayer mat every single day, I just felt that it was making my heart softer and softer and softer. So, from earlier resistance, where like I felt like everything was hardened around me, I was doing something every single day where my heart was getting softer and softer and softer. So, prayer works a lot, I feel, and prayer helps you tune into something that makes you believe something good about yourself, and that is what happened to me. So I was not actively manifesting, I was not actively making a list of things, I was not doing those things actively, but just actively going to my prayer mat and praying every single day made me let go of a lot of heaviness on my chest. And had I held on to that, maybe I don't know what would have shown up in my 3D. That's the point. So, I really don't care who, like, how you pray, what you pray to. But if it's something that makes you tune into your belief more and genuinely soften, if it softens your presence, I would say that it really helps. especially when you have gone through something really bad in your life. It really helps you. And and something amazing happened, as I kept praying and praying. I started praying regularly, mostly towards the December of 2025. And one day, it was during the prayer, I I had this epiphany, and I had this feeling where I was like, in my 20s I planned everything. Like, I used to be a planner, we'll do this, we'll do that, and I used to start executing that plan. It didn't matter if the plan took longer, or if it took a short amount of time, but that's what my process used to be like. And suddenly I have this epiphany in my prayer where I'm like, let go of your own storyline and see what miracles God has for you. And as I thought about it, like, everything in me became so light. And I was like, I accept. I accept it. I think I've been trying to control so many things in my life that maybe God has written some crazy script for me, and I am here to accept it. The thing is that in my 20s, I always felt like I had to do something. Like, I had to do something. I have to be after it. I have to make it happen. I have to write it down. I have to visualize. I have to think about it. I have to make it happen. But while that really worked for me, it was also very exhausting, right? It was very, very exhausting for me. And I was like, God, I accept what you have written for me. I know you have written miracles for me that are way better than I can even imagine for myself. And yeah, that's the prayer that changed everything. So, am I and since that day, I just thank God, that thank you for all the miracles that you're bringing into my life. Now, am I manifesting or am I not? Technically, I am, because prayer is also a form of manifestation, and all teachers talk about it. Even Eckhart Tolle, right, says that prayer is a form of manifestation. Even Neville Goddard says how prayer is a form of manifestation. But I just feel like there is a point where you really have to let go. And what is that let go process for you? Is it a prayer for you as well? Is it submitting all the resistance to something that is above and beyond you? Is it lightening that, lightening that energy? And since then, I just feel like, even when I was in so much resistance, my payments were getting delayed. The last moment, the clients would not sign up. When I let go, I just, everything started flowing smoothly. And I was like, why was I actively putting resistance in in an already existing process that I have? So, this is my mantra for 2026, which is manifesting with God, maybe, and believing in a script that He has written for me. I want 2026 to be a year of surprises. And I am all in for surprises, because I have lived my 20s actively wanting to build a business. Like, everything went into building my business. And it worked, but it was exhausting. And I don't want to live my life anymore like that. If you're someone who has experienced something like I have, and if you feel like you're at that point where any picture you had about your life does not exist anymore, and it feels like you are in that vacuum, you're in that dark, and you're starting all over again, I would like for you to comment in the comment section below. What are you feeling and thinking? Are you watching manifestation videos? Is it helping? And do let me know. I don't want these videos to be just about me teaching you. I want these videos to be about me interacting with you and also knowing what's going on with your with your life. um Maybe I was not too energetic in this video, but Yeah, I just recorded it. Um, do put your thoughts in the comment below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.